Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head up to the Gothenburg area once again, Göteborg as you'd say in Swedish, and we've got yet another of the beers that came in through the 7th of September 2018 small partiers in Systembolaget, and this is one that I'm really looking forward to. I say that about a lot of beers, but this is one that I really do reckon will be pretty damn special. So we're going to go back to Dugges Bryggeri once again, and we've got another one of the beers that they've done with Hunter and Sons coffee, basically coffee cafe if you like, from Bath in England. So if you remember rightly, I reviewed the Sidamo Dimtu, which was a beautiful beer, but today we have the one that is going to be the kind of final hurrah if you like, because Hunters and Sons apparently is no more. So we're going to have a taste of the Key today, which is an Imperial Coffee Stout coming in at 11% ABV. The Key coffee that they use in this is a Kenyan variety apparently. The last one I think was Ethiopian, the Sidamo Dimtu, but that was a beer that I really enjoyed, and I'm certainly looking forward to trying this one. It's a shame that that this is only going to be a one-off brew then, I guess. It really is quite a sad day actually, because these coffee stouts tend to be pretty damn good. So as always, I'm really looking forward to this one, and this one in particular, like I said, but as always, I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer. So anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from Dugges Bryggeri before. No doubt you will see some more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Swedish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Dugges Bryggeri then. So as I've told you before, Dugges Bryggeri are based in Landvetter, which is on the outskirts of Gothenburg, Göteborg in Sweden, which is on the west coast of course. But the brewery was established back in 2005 in Mölndal by Mikael Engström Dugge, and since 2010 they focused solely on top fermented beers apparently. But due to the renaissance that we've had in Swedish craft brewing in recent years, they really very quickly outgrew their original brewery and they moved to Landvetter. So the older brewery had a capacity of 1,500 hectolitres per year, but the new brewery has a capacity of around 8,000 hectolitres per year, but I've got a feeling that that might have even been expanded further since then. But these guys, of course, probably best known for some of their sour fruit beers that they do. Some of those are absolutely amazing. I think it was Mango that I had from these guys that I was really impressed with. That was a beautiful beer. At the other end of the scale, they've got the Imperial Stouts. The Egypt and the Big Egypt are really good beers as well. And as I've said, the coffee stouts that they do always tend to be pretty special. I hope, even though Hunter and Sons aren't in existence anymore, I do hope that they keep up with these coffee stouts, because I have to admit, I would have to say rather, that Dugges Bryggeri are one of the best coffee stout producers that I've come across actually. And they always try it with different varieties as well. I'm not a big coffee drinker, so in this particular series of beers that they do, it is something that's teaching me a little bit more, and that's what this whole YouTube thing's about for me. It is about learning more about beer and different flavours and stuff like this. But very strong brewery on the Imperial Stouts, very strong when it comes to the kind of fruity sour beers and things like that. So they do some IPAs and things like that, but those are the two kind of niches that they basically fit into. But yeah, that's all you really need to know about the brewery. And to tell you a little bit about Hunter and Sons as well, which with which this beer is a collaboration. So Hunter and Sons was a cafe bar in Milton Place in Bath in England that basically sold craft beer and also speciality coffee. But apparently they had to close in April 2018, and they cited rising business rates as the main reason for this. Which is quite a shame actually, because apparently they were, it was really quite a popular venue, but they were just struggling with the rent, and there was a lot of deserted shops and stuff around them. So I think their custom just kind of ground to a halt essentially. But it's sad to see a little local business like that kind of folding, if you like. And Bath, as I say, as I've told you before, is supposed to be a very nice town. I would have probably gone in and tried some of their coffees if I'd gone there after trying these stouts. So a sad day, but sad to see that Hunter and Sons is going. But I do hope hope, like I said, that Dugges Bryggeri can keep up doing these coffee stouts. But yeah, that's all you need to know about the brewery and the cafe for this one. Let's get on to the actual tasting of this beer itself. So like I said, this one's an 11% Imperial Coffee Stout. It's, as I said, brewed in collaboration with Hunter & Sons, originally from Bath in England, and the coffee that they've used in this beer, the key variety, is from Kenya, and it's supposed to give you quite a floral taste, but also a little bit of berry as well. I did a little bit of research on the coffee just to see what you should get, because like I say, I'm not a big coffee drinker. I very rarely, if ever, drink coffee, so it is really cool to learn a little bit about the different flavours you can get from it, because it's another thing that's almost like craft beer. It's got a really interesting kind of flavour scope and things like that. But yeah, that's all you need to know about that just now. 11% Imperial Coffee Stout, like I said. It says on the side here, this stout with Kenyan key coffee from Roundhill Roastery is one last hurrah. It's brewed in collaboration with the founders of Hunter & Sons, Bath, UK. Hunter & Sons is no more. Long live Hunter & Sons. So that's a nice little tribute to them there. I'm not sure if this little thing that's on the side here, I'm not sure if that's to do with the coffee certification or something like that, but there you can see nice artwork on this one. Kind of similar, actually, a little bit similar to the Sidamo Dimtu one that I had before, and there you can see it's a plain bottle cap as well, but I think this one will be an absolutely beautiful beer. So without further ado, let's get it out and we'll get on with the tasting then. Nice bit of smoky opening there, and let's get it out and into the glass. Just look at how oily that beer is. You can tell this is a big boozy beast. Yeah, just look at that. I've got a feeling that this is going to be an absolute monster, and the best kind of monster that you could ask for. So yeah, and oof, you can really smell it. That's interesting actually. I was saying, you know, you're supposed to get berry notes from the coffee. You actually get a little bit of an almost blueberry note coming out this beer as you open it up. So that's really quite interesting actually. So yeah, as you can see and as you would expect from this beer, it's poured a nice dark ebony kind of rosewood colour. There's a solid half finger of quite a dark tan head on this one actually. It's not the darkest tan head I've seen, right enough, but it does have a good bit of colour to it there. One or two big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, and a few little ones just heading up towards the bottom of that head there. But you know, overall it does look pretty nice. If I hold it up to the light, it does have a little bit of a kind of Coca-Cola kind of chestnutty edge to it, but mainly it is a dark ebony rosewood colour. I don't think there's any other way around that for this one. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the aroma then and just see how we get on with this beer. Appearance is pretty much as you would expect from an Imperial Stout. Yeah, coffee is basically jumping out of this one at you. So for me, it's got a nice, the coffee bean itself, as I say, I'm no expert in coffee, but to me it's got a nice, almost, it's got a slightly earthy quality to it. It's a good bit of it's a good bit roasty as well. I do remember the Sidamo Dimtu being a little bit smoother, if that makes sense. This coffee to me smells a little bit more roasty toasty, but you can definitely get that kind of floral element from it as well. And when you go in, there is a little touch of the berry-ish quality to the beer, if you like. But as I was saying, when I opened this beer up and let it settle, it was blueberries I was getting out of it actually. I'm pretty sure it was blueberries. But when you go closer into the glass, you're not getting too much of that. For me, it's a nice floral quality that's coming out of the beer. A little bit of a kind of grassy one as well. But that's nice. The coffee note in this beer is absolutely lovely. Of course, underneath that, there's a good bit of chocolate in this one. You can smell there's a little touch of a roasty black malt in there, but there's definitely a bit of chocolate. I would say it's quite a high cocoa chocolate. There's maybe a little bit of brown sugar to this one as well, but I think it's mainly a sort of chocolatey note. But yeah, there is a little bit of a caramelly sweetness. I'm not sure if it's quite treacle. I don't think it's quite treacle, to be honest with you. I think it is slightly sweeter than that. But yeah, a little bit of chocolate, quite high cocoa chocolate at that, some earthy hops in there, and you can definitely pick up some of the red fruity esters to the beer as well, which is interesting. It's got a little bit of a kind of candied red fruit note coming out of it, maybe slightly figgy or something like that, maybe even a little touch of strawberry or something. But as I was saying, when you let the beer settle, it was blueberry notes that were coming out of it. But in fact, there could actually even be it's almost a little bit blackcurranty as well. So it really is interesting that, you know, you do a little bit of research about the coffee beforehand and see what you actually get. For me, the floral quality is nice, but it's a little bit more roasty, toasty than I was kind of thinking, and a little bit earthy than it was going to be. But it smells like a beautiful, beautiful beer, this. So as I always say, take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of it before you get stuck in. And I would say that the aroma, when your nose fully adjusts to it, it does kind of smooth out a little bit. But yeah, let's have a taste of this one then. So this one is the Key, an Imperial Coffee Stout with Key Coffee from Kenya. A collaboration brewed between Hunter and Sons, a former coffee cafe, if you like, from Bath in England, and Dugges Bryggeri from Landvetter, just outside of Gothenburg. Let's get stuck into this one then. Slange, skull. Sad to see that Hunter and Sons have gone. Cheers. Oh yeah. Right. That is a damn good beer. You know, there's no doubt about it. It's another beautiful beer. Dugges Bryggeri, like I said, they have to be one of the strongest producers of coffee stout out there. I mean, I've not reviewed that many of them on the channel, but when you think about the Egypt and things like that, I really don't think that there would be, you know, too many breweries brewing coffee stouts of this quality. I mean, do in the comment section below let me know some others. I really want to try and get into this sort of coffee stout style, sub-style a little bit more. I'd love to try some more, so do let me know some others in the comment section below. But this is an absolutely, it's a stunner of a beer. The Sidamo Dimtu is the same. That I would stick with and say that's one of my favourite stouts that I've reviewed on the channel. This one isn't, you know, this one, it is kind of up there as well. It's not too far off the Sidamo Dimtu, if you like. Yeah, that's just a beautiful, beautiful beer. So let's try and break this down a little bit. The thing I'm noticing about this one is just how smooth the centre of your palate is. That, you know, the way the malty characters in this one are coming out is really, really lovely. So you can feel there's a nice little bit of roasty, toasty black malt to this one. It's got a little bit of that roasty black malt backbone. There's some lovely kind of dark chocolatey notes to this beer as well. The high cocoa chocolate is kind of sitting there too, and it's almost like the coffee flavours are just kind of infusing into that. It's almost got a little touch of a slightly woody note towards the front of the palate as well, which is interesting. But the coffee in this one, it's interesting because, like I was saying in the aroma, it was a little bit more roasty, toasty and earthy than I remember. But I do actually remember the Sidamo Dimtu being a little bit almost sweeter in the taste than this one. This one's definitely more of a kind of smoother coffee, if that makes sense. And almost, yeah, just it's interesting that I really like how this beer goes together. And as I say, I really do reckon Dugges are probably one of the best coffee stout producers you're going to find. But yeah, it's interesting that the floral qualities of this coffee, you've seen how long it was since I took a sip of this beer. The floral qualities of it are starting to come out a little bit now. And as you go further and further in the aftertaste, some of the roasty, almost earthy components of the coffee start to come out a little bit as well. But the roasty quality that this one has is ridiculously smooth. This is a very, very smooth coffee you're getting in here. And the sort of floral quality that comes out of it as well seems to be on the increase as you go further and further into the aftertaste, and you get that little bit of roasty character out of the beer as well. And oddly enough, you know, it is kind of fruity in its quality as well. It's almost a little bit, I want to say it's got a little touch of blackcurrant to it, but it's almost kind of blackcurrant and blueberries, I think, that are coming out of this beer. It's really interesting that how you can get such diversity in flavour from coffee beans, if you like. But you know, when you think about the different flavours you can get in sake and wine and stuff like that, it's not too surprising. But yeah, it's a stunning beer, that. Have a go at it for yourself and just see what you think. It covers the alcohol really well as well. So hoppy side of things then, back corners of the palate, you've got a good little bit of earthiness in there. That bit of bitterness that you have builds a good bridge between the coffee and the rest of the beer. And as you come further forward, it actually starts to get more and more bitter down the sides of your palate. The earthiness just smooths out a little bit, and there's almost just a little touch of a floral aromaticity at the front corners of your tongue. And then round the very front curve of the palate, it's a little bit lighter and grassy, but you can still taste a little bit of the earthy element in there as well. And like I was saying, there's a little bit of a woody quality to the front centre of the palate there. And then of course behind the front curve of the tongue, that's where you get that little oily bubble where the juicy fruity esters start to come out of the beer. And for me, that's really interesting. It's at the start it has a little touch of a raisiny sharpness, but then it becomes a little bit more of a kind of juicy. It's not quite fig. It's a bit stronger. Maybe even a little touch plummy or something like that. But it's from the coffee itself. You've got the almost blueberry, blackberry kind of thing coming out, and that's mixing with that sort of figgy, plummy kind of note that you're getting from this beer. The fruity qualities in this one are really interesting. I wouldn't have thought you would get so much fruit out of a coffee stout right enough. It's not overwhelming by any means, it's just interesting in the kind of complexity that you've got from it, and the woody roasty notes to this beer, as I say. It really is interesting. It's got a lovely complexity to it, this beer. It's one that you definitely want to sip, and as I say, it's such a shame that Hunter & Sons have gone. If they can give all these different coffee varieties to Dugges to brew beers like this, you know, I really do hope that Dugges take the initiative here and continue brewing these beers, because this, you know, it's beautiful. I don't think you're going to find another beer that is similar to this one. The Sidamo Dimtu was awesome, and this one was another absolute cracker. So yeah, have a go at this one for yourself and see what you think. There's nothing really you can compare this to other than the Sidamo Dimtu, but if you enjoy a coffee stout, I'm very sure that you will definitely enjoy this one. In terms of the mouthfeel, full-bodied beer, I would say. I think it is pretty much a full-bodied beer. Yeah, full-bodied, carbonation's very smooth, quite an oily mouthfeel, this one, which is to be expected. You've got a lovely, the malt base obviously leans a little bit more towards the roasty, toasty side of things, but the coffee smooths it out a little bit. There is a touch of sweetness there. In the centre of your palate, you do get a little touch of sweetness from the chocolate in there. It does smooth out a little bit, and I think the sort of perception of high cocoa chocolate, if that you like, that kind of goes down a little bit as your palate's adjusting to this one. Nice little bit of hoppy bitterness and some juicy fruits to the beer as well. But overall, another absolutely cracking beer from Dugges Bryggeri, and you know, I really hope they keep up these coffee stouts, because this one is as good as the Sidamo Dimtu. But yeah, let's leave it at that. Once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Dugges Bryggeri as well. Sad to see that Hunter & Sons have gone, because you know, they're creating beers like this with Dugges, but hopefully they take the initiative and continue it. But thanks again for watching. I will catch you guys very soon. This was the Key, an Imperial Coffee Stout at 11% using Kenyan Key coffee, brewed by Dugges Bryggeri from Landvetter, just outside of Gothenburg in Sweden. Until the next time, Slanger just now, and I will catch you guys very soon. Skål!